Boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast, GB Top Team with my new mate, Shanelle Dyer. Thanks for doing this, champ.
No worries.
So we've met a few times, right?
Yeah.
We met properly and spoke properly. Demetrius Johnson seminar last week, which was great, which maybe we get into at some point on here. But appreciate your time.
No
Busy person, UFC fighter
always.
nowadays, current UFC fighter. But I tell you what's always interesting to me when I talk to people on these episodes is how they got into martial arts and stuff like this. But I believe you're sort of a lifetime martial artist, right? You was in this from sort of kid days.
Yeah, definitely. I always think I've been doing martial arts since I was born, basically.
Right.
But I didn't actually dip my toes into martial arts until I was about 9.
Okay.
I started with Muay Thai, but before then I used to do ballet, gymnastics, so that running, sprint, athletics, swimming. So I did everything unconsciously to prepare me for my martial arts career, even though I didn't know I was going to do martial arts at the end of the day. So I started martial arts when I was 9. My brothers used to do it, and I see them come back with medals and trophies, and I just wanted a piece of that. And then I tried one day, found it was like the hardest thing ever. Then what I like about myself, if I found something hard, I want to get better at it. So I'm like, and the only way to get better is to be consistent and keep going. And that's what I did, and I ended up winning like 35 belts in Muay Thai.
35 belts in Muay Thai. Oof. So I'm assuming you've had more than 35 fights.
So I've had like 100 plus Muay Thai
100 plus.
fights,
Right, we'll get into that. But where did you grow up? Did you grow up in London?
Yeah, West London, Shepherd's Bush.
Okay, right side of the river or wrong side of the river? North or south?
Up north.
Oh, never mind. We'll get into that. We'll see if we can stay friends on the rest of the episode. But like, jokes aside, when you start as a kid, like I'm assuming it's like your parents have got you into it, right? Or was it like a burning thing inside you that wanted to do it before you did it?
No, my dad was always sporty, so like he was sporty when he was younger.
Right.
I used to play football at semi-professional level. He was a football fanatic. Did a bit of boxing as well. He was very, very active. Unfortunately, he didn't get to achieve his dreams to be like a professional footballer or like a professional sports person. So he imposed that into his children. That maybe we can be a sports person or we can be great one day. He didn't really have that from his parents, so he wants to make us great in the beginning. And obviously, if like coming from London, I grew up around an estate. Like it's so easy for me to go down a bad path. I know people that's died, people doing life in prison, doing wrongness. But my dad wanted to put me and my siblings into sport, to surround us with positive role models and keep us in the right direction.
Nice, man. And 'cause obviously, like, listen, it's a tough place to grow up in sometimes, isn't it? You're in the States and stuff, but it's also, you chose a tough game to get into, didn't you? You know what I mean? It's not like, not that football's easy, obviously, but it's a different world, isn't it? But like, are your siblings fighters still?
Nah, my brothers used to do it, but then they kind of gave up, and we all gave up when I was like 13, being teenagers and stuff, like life, school and friends and stuff. But I got back into it when I was like 15, 16. My brothers kind of got back into it, but then they just kind of fell off. But I just loved it. I just carried on, like, why not? Yeah. And then look at me today.
Look at you today. And we'll revisit this in like a couple of years' time. We might have a couple of gold decoration belts to put on the thing. But like, going back, because you said you did gymnastics and ballet, which I always think is interesting because I've done, not ballet, but a bit of gymnastics as I got older to sort of help my martial arts and stuff like that. But as a base, I'm a big believer that sort of being, like the Russians would call it GPP, right? Like general preparedness. Like, do you think that gave you a leg up in coming into martial arts?
100%. Like everyone, like when you see me fight, I'm on my toes. Like 100% of the time. A lot of people like, doesn't hurt your calves. Like I balance better on my toes and not on my toes, and I think that comes from ballet. Like. And my flexibility as well, my head kicks. I'm like really flexible. I can do the splits, can do head kicks out of nothing, and that came from gymnastics at a young age. My body's just used to those type of movements. So when I did get to martial arts, my body's used to the type of movements.
Well, it's I've got a bit of a theory on things as well when kids start, and it's not just that kids learn, because people say, oh, kids learn better. I think there's an element to that, but I think a lot of it as well is like when a kid goes to like, I'm assuming when you first went to your first like martial arts gym or dojo or whatever it was, is like, you're not going there for the fight of your life, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's fun. And I think like the fun element should stay. And I feel like, for myself, I've made the best gains when I'm just sort of chilling a bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I used to hate training. I used to get beat up all the time. But I went there because it was fun. Obviously, the training was hard, but I was there because it was fun. Like, my mates were there, my friends were there. We used to fight every 2 weeks up and down the country. So we used to do road trips with me and my friends in the cars and stuff. Like, sleepovers at hotels, then we would fight. Like, we used to like hang out. So I'd done it because it was fun, and I still do it because it's fun.
Cool.
I started off as a hobby, and it's still a hobby in my mind. I'm still a fan of the sport. I'm like, if I was an MMA fighter, I'll still be a fan of UFC. I'm watching it like I'm a fan, blah, blah, late at night. Bro, just, you're not allowed to stay up to watch UFC. But I'm just like, but I want to watch it. And he's just like, no, you're a UFC fighter. So I don't care. So,
who's this Barry boxing coach? Yeah, he's giving us some stick already, so we get onto him later. If he can hear, he probably hear us right now. Is it happening?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm still a fan. It's still a hobby. But I always say, like, if I wake up tomorrow and I hate the sport, then I'll give up the sport. Like, it's
a good way to be, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm only doing it because I enjoy it, and I enjoy the process. I've learned along the way to enjoy the process and live every day instead of just liking fight night and wins and that. I love like everyday training. I appreciate the position I'm in.
So when you stopped, you say 13, you stopped martial arts for a little while. When did you pick it back up to say 15 sort of age?
Yeah.
Right, and in them 2 years, like them years are sort of, they go fast anyway, don't they? But like coming into it at 15, what's the thinking? Was it like you wanted to do it as a career, or was it just getting back into fun?
Just get back into it, like just finding a new gym. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the discipline. I love fighting back then anyway, so I wanted to again good shows. It was only Muay Thai at the time. I went to a Muay Thai gym, so it was like I wanted to fight in Raw. I wanted to get ISK belt and be like the UK number one in Muay Thai. Obviously, there was not a lot of money in the sport, but I just wanted to be the best Muay Thai fighter.
That's first
of all. So I didn't think of it as a career until I was like 18, 19, to be fair.
Right.
And I switched over to MMA because I used to have a job that I've only had one proper job in my life.
Yeah. Doing what?
I used to work at Sports Direct when I was 16.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated it. There was nothing wrong with it. It's like, but then I just hated working. Like, you have to be at work at this time. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's like everyone's telling you what to do. It's just like, I just hate it. It wasn't me. I love freedom. I do sport because, especially MMA, because of the freedom that comes around it. And working is literally not me. I remember when I was like 17, 18, I was in college. Last year of college, my tutor, I had a meeting with them, like, what do you want to do in the future? Do you want to go uni? Do you want to get work? What do you want to do? And all I knew was that I don't want to work for the rest of my life. And then obviously that Muay Thai wasn't big at the time. 1FC wasn't big at the time, so there was no avenue for Muay Thai fighters. So it was either going to boxing or MMA, and I like kicking too much to be a boxer. So I tried MMA, hated it.
Did you? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
I used to hate MMA.
Really?
7, 8 years ago, I used to hate MMA.
Why, the grappling aspect of it?
Yeah, because I didn't understand it. And I came from striking. I'm like, why do I want to watch MMA for the striking where I could watch great Muay Thai fights or K1 fights? So why am I going to do MMA? I didn't appreciate the Jiu Jitsu because I didn't understand Jiu Jitsu, so I hated MMA. Then if you want money, then obviously you have to do MMA. But then I learned to fall in love with MMA.
And you're in love with it now, or you still?
Obsessed with
you're obsessed with it now. I thought so by listening to you. But like, is Muay Thai sort of like down the road, like when you've achieved what you want to in MMA? Is that sort of like a scratch you still want to itch?
Yeah, definitely, because I retired.
Itch you still want to scratch before I get pelted for being a dum-dum. Sorry, carry on.
No, like I haven't officially retired Muay Thai, but I stopped Muay Thai when I was UK number one professional ranked.
Oh, okay.
So I got to a good level, but I know that I can beat a lot of the guys in Muay Thai, even like to this day. I know I can achieve. I always wanted the WBC Muay Thai belt. I always wanted like certain titles in Muay Thai. So maybe after the MMA career is done, I can tap into a little bit of Muay Thai before I call it a day.
Well, it's interesting because there's a few that Molly McCann comes to mind, right? When they retire from MMA, they go to boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she did it for money, but like she stopped MMA and like boxing is quite lucrative, isn't it? Especially like on the women's side. Like, I mean, obviously nowadays things are very different. But like when you started martial arts, was there many girls in the sport even?
Nah, like, I was the only girl in my gym. Like, as I said before, I used to get beat up. I used to get beat up by all the guys. There was hardly any girls in the sport in Muay Thai. So I used to get beat up by the guys, but then I used to fight girls. But then I'm just used to getting beat up by the guys. So every time the girls punch me, I'm just like, it's nothing. And I just like walk through and then I get that aggression. Cause I needed to be aggressive to fight the guys in the gym.
Right.
But the sport's changed now, especially in MMA, martial arts. A lot of girls are coming into the sport. Maybe not necessarily being a fighter, but like self-defense, they're finding good communities. My friend Kaz, she does retreats in Thailand, shout out Combat Collective. So they're getting a lot more girls into the sport, and hopefully that one day a lot of them will be fighters.
Especially in this gym, right? There's plenty of women in here, isn't there? I've had plenty on the podcast.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that we have one of the best, if not the best, girls team in Europe.
Right, nice.
Yeah,
because does it make a big difference? Because I've heard some women say it doesn't really make a difference, and others that say it makes a big difference training with men and women.
There's a difference. You can 100% tell the difference, like the strength, the power, the way females move. smooth, especially in that jiu-jitsu. A lot of the guys don't invert or they're not really flexible in those type of situations. But girls are like, I'm never gonna fight a guy that obviously I'm never gonna fight a guy, but I'm never gonna fight somebody that's like stiffer their movements.
Okay,
or like girls are way harder to submit than guys.
Is that right?
Yeah,
oh,
like,
I like that.
Obviously guys have that the strength, but like girls are very like hypermobile, and flexible. So it's like you have to get them like 100% technique.
Well, that's also like in grappling specifically. Obviously striking as well, but in grappling it's plentiful for women, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's women like I've been to classes like over the last 5 years, say, and sometimes there's more women in class than men. You know what I mean? So it's big because I think. Well, you tell me, like with striking, it's a bit more brutal in a way, right? Like getting punched in the head, I think, separates a lot of sort of people that want to train versus people that actually want to fight, innit? Because like for most people that do striking sport, there are some, but there's not as many, I would say, ratio-wise for grappling that just train for the sake of training, right? If you're striking, most of the time people are fighting, aren't they?
Yeah, you have to. But a lot of people, like, they hit pads and stuff, but nobody, especially girls, they don't want to get hit in the face and stuff. So, like, obviously, jiu-jitsu is, like, self-defense. It's a martial art. You're still learning stuff, but it's, like, you're not getting hurt. You're not getting hit in the face. So I think a lot of people are afraid of getting hit in the face.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I tell you, the first time I ever got kicked in the leg was a rude awakening too. Like, punch me in the face before you kick me in the leg, please. But like with grappling now, do you ever stick a gi on and stuff like that? Do you go
I used to a lot when I was white belt, blue belt, and almost purple belt as well. I used to do a lot of gi, but just like finding the time for it now is just so hard. Because off of camp, I need to like, focus on that specific stuff. In camp, obviously, I can't do it, and finding gyms that do gi. We used to do gi here, but I just hated it and got rid of it.
Is that right?
He's just like, no. So they replace it with different class, like different gyms I go to, they don't do gi anymore.
Okay.
So, but I love gi. I love gi as like a hobby. And I think in the beginning of your career, I think you should do gi, especially kids, because like, I always say you have to be good at jiu-jitsu to be good at gi. Like no gi jiu-jitsu, you can kind of get away with the scrambles and like slip and like slide and stuff. But in gi, you actually have to know what you're doing to submit your person.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Get out of stuff.
I'm a believer in that. Like the gi helps with things because I've notoriously sort of not avoided the gi, but been much more of a fan of no gi. But like as I've been in it longer, I do appreciate the gi for like the same reason you're saying. There's sort of the art side of it. You know what I mean?
It slows everything down. You actually have to think about what you're doing.
Yeah, and you're going to get in there, especially like
instead of just like scrambling, like Gramby, scramble, blah, blah, blah. You can't really do that in the game.
And also, like, listen, you're fighting UFC now, right? So, like, you're going to be fighting the top people in the world. Like, sometimes that ain't going to be an option, is it? To just scramble out of things and whatever. And also, listen, you tell me, but as you get in the later rounds and, like, when you're tired and stuff, them scrambles, like, it's risk reward, isn't it? Like, them scrambles start to come in, like, maybe I'll leave the scramble for now. You've got to rely on your skills. But like, I tell you what's interesting, talking to someone, obviously, like you signed in the UFC, you're fighting, you're on the road now. Like, you went through Dana White Contender Series. What's that experience like?
It's good, it's different. Obviously, like, I came from PFL, which was like one of a top promotion. So I'm used to fighting in front of thousands of people. When you go to that Contender Series and you're fighting in front of like 200 people, it's a bit weird, it's a bit different. But yeah, it strips it down. And, like, they want to assign the best fighter possible. Like no fanatics, no like everything. It's literally just you and your opponent, and they'll suss you out and stuff like that. So it was a different experience, but everyone has to go through the same thing to get to UFC. Well,
I think it's a good setup. I like the way it's set up because, like, obviously, watch out now, watch out. We might be invaded by the big man. Here he comes. Look at it. Rip that. That's the first tap out and squeeze the neck, bro. Put his hat on that way. We look like he's awake.
I took him out.
I'm looking for a second appearance from you soon, mate. You better come back on.
Chill, bro.
So, like, before we got rudely interrupted, Dana White's Contender Series. I like the setup on that because, like, and you're a prime example of why, because it is about what they see, right? It's not just wins and losses. You actually lost your bout, right? But because you're such an impressive performance, you were in anyway. Like, I think, like, going forward, the sport's massive now, is what I'm trying to say also. Is like when I first started watching it, I come from a boxing background, right? And I'm classic, a bit like maybe what you was like, I don't need that grappling nonsense, I don't like that, blah, blah, blah. But when you start watching it and you get into it, and especially the timeline of when I started watching it was sort of around the time GSP was coming back from his injuries, right? So it was on the up and up, and you're watching different things go into play. But nowadays, like, everyone's a complete martial artist, aren't they? Versus back in the day, like we had someone like GSP, he sort of stood out a mile because he could do everything, and he'd be fighting very striking heavy. Do you still see yourself as like a striker, or you're an MMA fighter? Is what I'm trying to get to.
I'm an MMA fighter, but I like striking.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, I like fighting. Like from a young age, I like fighting. So like if I go in the cage, if I go in the ring, if I'm sparring, I want to fight. I want to punch. I want to kick. I want to fight.
You're not double-legging people.
No, it's just like it's boring. Like even like in the sparring, like someone takes me down, I'm like. No, I'm like, now I have to get up. Like, why do you have to make it so boring? Like, let's fight. Like, let's fight at the end of the day. I like fighting, but I appreciate the sport, obviously. But I always say, like, I like grappling on grappling days. I like striking on striking days.
That's cool.
So in MMA, let's fight.
Yeah, I got you. Do you think there's sort of a benefit to training the arts separately? So, like, you turn up and your mindset's switched on jiu-jitsu to learn jiu-jitsu to take that to MMA, or do you like to do it in sort of a jiu-jitsu for MMA sense?
You see
where I'm coming from
both.
with that?
Yeah. So I think in GB Top Team we do a lot of jiu-jitsu for MMA.
Yeah.
Like Ash is always just like, don't fall in your back on the arm bar, punch them in the face. And if they give an arm, then do it, but stay on top. But in that sense, but if you go to normal jiu-jitsu gym, just like, no, go in your back, then go de la hiva, blah, blah. But in MMA, no, don't do that. But I think you need to know a little bit of both. I think you need to know, like, pure jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because sometimes, like, the MMA jiu-jitsu misses out like little vital things that pure jiu-jitsu actually like helps implement in my game. So I go armor now. So like jiu-jitsu. So I learn a little bit of I call it that nerd jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I gotcha.
To bring to like my MMA game.
Who'd you train with over there?
Phil.
Okay, of course, right, obviously, yeah. Do you know Padacake goes over there?
Yeah.
Shout out Padacake, I've known him for a long time, since he started jiu-jitsu, yeah. So he was on actually, I was in there recently.
Yeah, he just won the world championship.
That's right, he did. I was with him the week, like, I think a few days before he flew out to LA. So shout out Padacake, mate, well done. Congratulations on the win. But like, have you got any desire going forward to sort of rush to the belt type thing?
Nah, like I always say, I'm still young, I'm only 25, so like, especially for females, like we don't reach our prime until we're like 34.
Right.
Like the champ now is 34, Shevchenko, she's like 30 years young, Willie's they're 37, so like they're a bit older in their game. So obviously I want the belt, but I want to fight for the belt when I'm 100% ready for the belt. Because like, in my opinion, when I win the belt, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to lose it, but I want to fight for it when I'm ready, when I'm in my prime, and then I'll defend it for the rest of my career, basically.
Right. Do you want to retire as champ? Sort of
I want to retire as champ, like double champ, but 100% champ.
Okay, double champ, yeah.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that,
But like, I want to win the strawweight belt and keep it until forever, basically.
Have you got sort of like in your mind like a step-by-step of sort of names, or are you just like whatever, just keep getting
whatever
just
for
get
now.
to the belt?
Yeah.
Because I think people, when you speak to some people and they're rushing, there's pros and cons obviously, right? But I think some people, you can you said you're 25, you said? Like you got time, do you know what I mean? You ain't got to rush to nothing. You can take the next sort of 3 years. Not that you want to tread water, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm getting paid the same way. Exactly.
Well, that's the benefit of being like in the UFC. Obviously, it sounds silly, right? In a big promotion, say, because like you can be a fighter, can't you? Versus like you ain't got to work at Sports Direct anymore, things like that, which is an added benefit. But like if you look at sort of going forward over the next few years, have you got sort of an ideal amount of fights that you like to do in a year?
I want to do at least 3 fights minimum a year. I'm active. I love fighting. As I always say. 2019, I think I had 22 fights in 1 year.
Did you? Whoa.
Muay Thai. No, 2020 I did Muay Thai, MMA, kickboxing.
Whoa.
In
22 fights.
In 2021, in 1 month I had 4 fights.
Yeah.
I did MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. And I won all of them.
That's crazy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's the body?
That was an amateur day. You can't do that anymore.
You can't, right?
Yeah, but that's how it shows. I just love fighting. I love being active. I learn the most after a fight. Okay. That's me at my best. Right. This is where I am fighting. So that's when I learn more every time I fight. So I need to fight to get better.
Do you get nervous beforehand? Are you one of them that gets overly nervous? I mean, I think everyone gets nervous, right?
Nervous. Like, you need to get nervous. If somebody says you're not nervous, then they're lying.
Yeah.
Like, nerves is a good thing. It protects you. If you don't have nerves, you're just there like that. But if you have nerves, you're like, okay, they might punch me, they'll do that. But so nerves show you care. So.
Yeah, but it's interesting, like sitting here, like you said it about 6 times, like you love to fight. Like you can see it's a genuine thing, like because I think some people get into it and sort of fall into a career, if you like. Do you know what I mean? They like martial arts and exactly, and it becomes a job, which is to me, it's a hard sport to have a job.
It's like one thing like I think Dana said a lot of people like disagree on, but I actually agree on kind of. He said like UFC is not a job, it's an opportunity. Right. I agree, it's not a job. It's not a job. It is an opportunity to make as much money as possible. Right. And obviously like it's a hobby. Like enjoy it, make as much money as possible, and balance basically. It's not a job.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than seeing fighters stick around too long either, right? Because then it does get quite sad.
I was telling my friend this other day, like, if you come to end of her Muay Thai career, I'm like, you want to retire before the sports retire you.
Yeah, and I think at your age to have that, not that I'm trying to sound like an old man or anything, but like at your age to have that like clear view of like not when you want to retire so much, but like what you want to do and then get out. I think that's the way to be, innit? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, but go back a step now. Like when you're getting back into the sport, when did sort of MMA become relevant to you? What sort of age? You said 17, 18, right?
18. So I started MMA when I was 17, almost 18.
Where, here? Was it here?
No, at Team Underground, 2019, January I started.
Okay.
I mean, I still hated him. My old coach, Steve, he was just like, oh yeah, we're going to fight at the end of the year. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I was still denying that, so I'm not going to fight. He said, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward April 2019, I was only doing martial arts for like 4 months. He was like, do you want to fight MMA? In 5 days' notice, I was just like, fuck it, why not? For a blue belt at Cage Warriors Academy, from a flying kick to the face, TKO'd in the first round.
Yes.
And then I went semi-viral, and I was on my days. I've had all these Muay Thai fights, and no one really cared. But I had one MMA fight, 5 days' notice, and I kind of went semi-viral.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I can do this for a career, like line it up.
Oh, was that quick?
Yeah, when BBC got involved, and I shot a BBC documentary with Corey McKenna and Molly McCann and me. And then
I remember this, sorry, I do remember
they
this.
came to my ECMMA fight, won their belt in that fight. And then I fought again in October. My original opponent pulled out. I'm a 4 champion jumped in. She absolutely battered me until the last 6 seconds of the fight. I TKO'd her. Yeah, right. I got the win. I was like, I said to my coach the day after, if I lost that fight, I would have gave up MMA. It was that bad. I was like, oh, fuck this. Because she kept taking me down, I'll get up, taking me down, right. I was it's so taxing, but I finished in 6 seconds. I won, I don't care.
That'll do, I'll take that, yeah. When did it become sort of like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want to do for a career?
I think after those 3 fights.
Was it? Yeah, straight after
fights, yeah. And then I think I went Thailand. That was 2020, I was meant to go Thailand for the year. Mm-hmm. And then I went by myself, I was 18. My dad came for that first 3 days, left me, and I was Thailand by myself. And I was 18.
Where'd you go? Where was you at?
PK. I got sponsorship for AKA.
Nice, okay.
So I was meant to go there for a whole year, but obviously COVID happened. Right. I flew back in March for a fight, ended up losing that fight. I was meant to go back to Thailand and then closed all the borders. So I got semi-stranded in London. Half my stuff was in Thailand. But yeah, so...
It's all worked out for the best in the end, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? What's your experience like of training in Thailand? Do you like it?
I love it. Best place on earth.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. And you obviously went out there for MMA, right? Not just Thai boxing, so AKA. But like, what's the rounds like out there? Have you got plenty of training partners and you're sort of off to the races?
Yeah. So I go Bangtao now.
Okay.
I've been there
shout out Bangtao. You got it on your chest, right?
Yes. Yeah. Shout out the guys. Yeah, so that Bangtao is amazing. Like, we get a lot of fights from around the world.
Okay.
And you get to pick their brains. Everyone has different styles, different training methods. George and Frank, Hickman brothers, they own Bangtao. They have really great American wrestling that we don't really get here because we're British. Yeah. So I picked their brains a lot. Just a lot of different styles. You get a lot of good rounds. Yeah,
and for trips and stuff, obviously Thailand's not the easiest because it's far for us, right? But are you big on that? Do you like traveling and training?
I love traveling. That's one of the main things I love. Is that I love traveling. Nice. That's one of my hobbies. Barry always says oh, you can't. I'm like, I want to go here, I want to go here. He's like, no, you need to stay. I was like, yeah, but I want to go. Yeah. I love traveling, even up and down the country or different places. I go Canada a lot, TriStar.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of my family live in Canada, so I go TriStar, do a lot of grappling, referrals and GSP, training from them. So I like training around, picking people's brain, getting that stuff from different gyms, and obviously bring it back home here. And I'll probably have Ashby, don't ever do that in your life. And I'm like, okay. Or he's like, yeah, that's good. Or show the class that, and level up my game. But here's home where everything comes together.
Right. What's that like, TriStar? Because you hear obviously George comes from there, right?
Yeah.
But it's
and he still trains there. He'll be in the everyday class, and you're just talk to him casually.
Oh, does he? Just rocks up
he literally rocks up to a normal 12 everyday clall, intermediate class. He would just roll with people, do the class. He's so sound. He's always there, just there.
That's mental.
I've been there. I met him 3 times, 3-4 times. He remembered me last time.
He's coming in soon as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's coming over. Yeah. It'd be interesting to listen to him. I'm coming.
Yeah, exactly. We do. I do a lot of Jiu Jitsu there. So we do 2+ hours of grappling.
Do you?
The first hours, it's literally for us, his brain is so amazing. It's you're literally doing a seminar when he's teaching the whole time. He breaks it down so well. gives like different positions or like real life situations. It flows so well, and a lot of black belts on high level grapplers there. So every time I go there, my jiu-jitsu just levels up.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I might have to book myself a little trip and get out there. That sounds like the one. But like with fights and stuff now, are you one of them that likes to stay after the fight? And like if you were fighting, I don't know, in America or something?
Yeah, if especially like in a new place, I like staying for like a day or two.
Yeah.
I think Vegas we're going to stay for an extra day or two, but we're going there for like 2+ weeks out. So by the time the fight comes out, we've been here for like 3 weeks. Like, let's just go home.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I want to go somewhere else. So I book a holiday like a week after, go somewhere else for like a week after.
That's nice.
But yeah, but if it's like a different place, different city that I haven't been, I'll stay extra 2-3 days.
Well, I'll tell you what's cool about that, because it seems like you're sort of enjoying the career as it's going on. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of people are sort of like stressing about this and that and whatever, whereas you're actually having it now.
Yeah, like I learn the best when I'm like having fun and I'm free. So when I go training, I'm like having a laugh, like obviously seriously train, but I hate when people go train, they're like proper serious. Like enjoy yourself. Like why are you here if you don't love it, if you don't enjoy it? Like be free, enjoy it. Like we're going to Vegas, but like obviously I'm fighting, but like me and Barry, we're gonna go to this water park. It's just like problem. We're here for a job. We're fighting, but no, we're gonna go to this water park. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. Yeah, it's sick.
But I think what's interesting there is like a lot of people you listen to that are fighting at a high level, they seem to like almost getting up to the fight. They want to sort of not distract themselves, might be the wrong word, but like they want to just sort of enjoy the process and not overly stress about the fight. Are you from that sort of lane?
Yeah. I don't want to like 100% that stress on the fight. We're fighting at the end of the day. I've had that 100+ Muay Thai fights. I know how to fight. I know
that's mental. That 100+. Like that's a major advantage just for competition.
Yeah, I know how to fight. Like I've done the process a million times. I've been punched in the face. I've been kicked. I've trusted my training camp. My training camp's gone amazing. I know what I'm doing at the time. So just enjoy the process up to fight now.
And so like if you've got a fight coming up, like how long before do you sort of switch on and sort of change your training, or do you change your training?
7 weeks out. I think if I'm fighting abroad, then maybe about 8 weeks, because obviously travel, blah blah blah. But 7 weeks out, everything gets a little bit more specific. Pad work's become more specific, sparring becomes more specific, grappling, everything comes tailored to my opponent. Obviously strengthening my strength and strengthening my weakness, but everything comes tailored to like my opponent. Conditioning goes up, we add sprints into it, we get red zone sessions into it as well, but everything's dialed in for that day and that opponent for about 7 weeks. Dieting start eating clean, going down the weight class.
Do you have much of a struggle with the weight class? No, I was going to say, you're always in shape, right? Like whenever I've seen you, you've always been sort of looking at TikTok.
Yeah.
Are you year-round training, I'm assuming?
Yeah, basically.
Never take time,
always in the gym, always at a good
I think you've got to be, right, if you're going to fight at that level nowadays, because them days of like having 3 months off.
I'm like, who are you to take 3 months off? Conor McGregor, like, bro, you're not making that much money to take 3 months off. For what?
For what, exactly, yeah. And I think it goes back to what you said about loving it. Like, if you need 3 months off, you probably don't love this enough, right? You know what I mean? But like going forward now, you've got obviously, you said the 25, you're in the UFC. What world's the oyster? Like you've got an exit strategy-ish. Again, you haven't sort of set a time, but like you want to be a 2-weight champion. You're sort of very driven on what you're doing. But like with your training and stuff like that, I'll tell you what I'm trying to get to and what I'm interested in is like different people do it differently. Some people are sort of more the pure martial arts thing. Some people love to do the strength conditioning stuff. You said you got a conditioning session later on. So like, what's sort of like a typical week, and then when you get into camp, as it sort of divvy up?
So I train in the mornings for pro sessions in GB Top Gym, obviously. Out of camp, like very out of camp. I don't really spar anymore. I used to spar a lot, but I hardly spar. Like I sparred today. I sparred probably once since my last fight. Right. So I probably sparred once in like 3.5 months, to be fair. So I hardly spar anymore outside of camp. Pre-camp, I spar once a week. Then in camp, I spar twice a week, Tuesday and Thursdays. In camp, I do like conditioning sessions on a Wednesday, like air bike, treadmill, sprints and stuff. On Sunday, maybe do sprints outside, harder rounds, do all the rounds in sparring days, jiu-jitsu days, and wrestling days. But out of camp, I'll do most of the rounds. I'll do all the rounds, but like sometimes if I don't have a partner, then I'm not too fussed in that sense. So the intensity does go up in camp. I train two times a day, sometimes 3 times a day.
Wow. Do you lift at all? Are you into your weightlifting?
Yeah, so I'm doing lifting today.
Right.
Yeah. Again, I used to hate S&C, but it's not that bad anymore.
Well, I tell you what, coming from a striking background as well, like weights are like a dirty word, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like striking, like, again, it might change now, but like when I was boxing, like if you touched the weight, you was like an idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Was that-
Same
was
as
that-
Muay Thai. Like no one in Muay Thai lifts weights.
Is that right?
Like they might just do this or that.
Push-ups are big,
yeah,
aren't they? They
yeah,
do a lot of
yeah.
push-ups, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of condition. That's about it. But now it's changing. Like weights actually helps you prevent injuries.
Right.
Like it gets you like obviously different power, different strength.
Yeah, and I think it's the way you do it though, right? Because obviously you're not a bodybuilder, so it's
Yeah,
not like a
yeah,
split. I'm
yeah.
assuming you do like full bodies, lifts and things.
Yeah, so it's like it's very specific. It's like shout out my SNT coach Andre. Like he pushes me, but he
Man of
doesn't-
War, we talking Man of War?
Yeah.
Ah, he's been on. Shout out Andre, yeah.
He pushes me, but like he doesn't kill me. So like the day after, my body's not fucked.
Yeah.
Like I do a session with him like today or like on a Friday, and by Saturday my body's not fucked. I can still train again.
Yeah.
So it's like I can feel it working, but I'm not obviously like deadlifting every single day, like max reps and stuff like that. No, it's like I don't need that. I'm not a bodybuilder. It's like it's tailored around my training.
It's got to get you to the fight, innit? And
Yeah.
like when I was sat talking to Andre, he was like, I can't remember the specifics, so don't kill me, mate. But it was like it was very sort of geared towards
Yeah.
fighting, no
Yeah.
nonsense, and just
Yeah.
like cut the
Yeah.
fat off the bone, innit? Do you know what I mean? You don't need to, because